let's also talk about something that I think everybody is concerned with, The Bachelor. Now, let's pretend that I've never watched The Bachelor.
You know what? Just because, and I like how you're diving into this. You're really doing the character.
Thank you.
I'm also going to dive into this.
You're going to dive right ahead.
Say, I've never watched The Bachelor as a bit. I think it's a funny bit.
Okay.
If we both act as if we've never watched The Bachelor.
Right, because you and I both know we watch it every
huge fans.
Fridays.
Make sure to check out our podcast. It's in our feed.
Yeah,
where
we've got a whole Bachelor podcast that we do all the time. Now, if I'm not mistaken, Chris Harrison.
Yes. Well, I mean, I don't know.
Who? Chris Harrison is the host of this, and he's been the host of it for...
I think since the beginning. Yeah, I think since the beginning.
Good acting.
It's almost, you almost believe me there.
All right. So he apparently was trying to help out and defend the Bachelorette.
I do know this story.
Okay, go ahead.
So basically, one of the contestants on The Bachelor.
So great. When he breaks the fourth wall like this.
Yeah, this is great.
And he's just like talks to the audience. I love this.
So one of the contestants was outed because she attended an antebellum party in 2018, a Southern-style antebellum party where she was dressed up in all the gear. That has gone from 2018 from trendy party to you lose your life and career if you went to one 3 years ago. That's in that 3 years, it's gone from like I don't even remember it being a trendy party, but apparently at one point it was a trendy party, and now it is abhorrent.
Right.
So now we only have Lady A instead of Lady Antebellum.
Right, I got it.
So now they have pictures were released of this, girl. She's like 18 years old at the time at one of these parties.
Oh my gosh.
So the internet goes crazy. They start trashing her as terrible and racist. She comes out with this ridiculously over-the-top apology as if she had committed the Holocaust, as if it was her idea. She was like, what we should do is throw all the Jews into concentration camps. It was as if that's what she did. Her apology was so ridiculously over the top. It actually, by the end of reading it, I was like, you know what? Now I'm rooting for the online mob. Right. I actually had turned around.
Right.
Okay. So then he goes on TV, Chris Harrison.
Yeah.
And he has an interview with Extra or one of those types of shows, one of those Hollywood shows. And the woman who's interviewing him says, like, hey, like, what do you think about this? And he's like, look, it was several years ago. It wasn't known as a bad thing then. She's young. You have to have some grace for somebody like this. And I just want to hear her side of the story. We haven't even heard her side of the story yet. This is before her ridiculous apology.
Oh, that's wrong.
Right? So we
burned him as a witch, didn't we?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, okay.
Part of this is because the host was like, I can't believe you. You're saying that this is okay? Like, she really leaned into the social justice during the interview.
Yeah.
And Harrison was like, look, I mean, I'm not saying it was a good thing. I think no one would do that today. So anyway, long story short, then he gets trashed by the mob and then also releases the single most ridiculous apology of all time. So now I'm on the side of the mob with him, too.
Okay, well, the mob has come. And he has gone to his indoctrination camp. He has gone to his betters who taught him the difference of right and wrong. Remember, only witches and small pebbles float. So we have that update because he's now politically correct. He's been okay. He went to the Ministry of Truth. They strapped the rat cage on him.
I am not a victim here. I made a mistake, and I own that.
Now listen.
Racism, oppression, these are big dynamic problems, and they take serious work, and I am committed to that work.
Harrison says he's been working closely with a, quote, race educator and strategist, along with faith leaders and scholars like Dr. Michael Eric Dyson.
But Dr. Dyson often talks to me about counsel, not cancel. And that is full accountability.
Oh, yes.
Understanding what you didn't understand.
Right.
Owning that.
Now, hang on just a second. Stop, because
that.
as I'm listening to him go on, I'm feeling the sincerity, aren't you?
Oh, yes.
I'm feeling the sincerity. And I thought to myself, gee, I've seen this somewhere before. Did we find that videotape? Just watch and listen.
Tonight, we've received reports of derailed trains, of granaries on fire, and of a savage attack on the hydroelectric dam in District 5. I'm begging for restraint and decency.
Peter, please continue. You were telling us about these savage attacks.
The attack on the dam was a callous and inhuman act of destruction.
So I've seen this before, and
Where was that?
I saw it in District 12.
Okay.
And I was deep underground in District 12.
You're pretty deep in the Hunger Game references here for my taste, but
but still pretty good.
It does look like
still pretty good.
a hostage who is giving a statement.
Right, which doesn't when what's his name? Chris Harrison, when he was speaking, it didn't feel like PETA at the end after he had been brainwashed.
No.
At all.
Not at all.
No.
No. I will say this, too. What he asked, his initial sin here, his racial sin, and he's right, there is a real racial problem around antebellum parties when they were, like, when the antebellum era was going on. That was a real problem.
Yeah.
The parties in 2018 were not that big of a problem.
Yeah, they don't resemble. It might be almost like you're insulting the memory of actual slaves by saying, this is just like that time period.
Right. No, they like the dresses is what the
Right.
whole... Just the same thing, by the way, with...
the Oscars?
No, Great Gatsby parties, right? Like, there was a lot of racism in the 20s, too. Should we get rid of those?
Yes.
Of course, the answer to that is yes.
I've never had one, so I say yes.
Right.
Let's get them.
Exactly. But it's just funny to watch him do that, and it's like, what he did was advocate for what a biblical principle. Give grace to people.
Okay, whatever.
Aren't you supposed to be more Christ-like?
Mr.
Isn't that like a
Bible
thing?
thumper? Jeez, my gosh. And we will get the Mockingjay. We'll find her.